Hello, Oracles. Well, we started to see the fall in Tesla today. Is this going to continue downward, or are we going to bounce from this and come back up going into Investor Day? We will just have to wait and see. This morning, we got in the PPI data that it came in much higher than expected. We will get into that in a moment and discuss what could potentially happen with Tesla in the near term. All right, so looking at the charts for today, we were down 5.69% to 20204. We were strong for a good portion of the day today, and then in the last few hours, we just started to topple. And even after hours now, we broke below 200 and now at 198.72, down just over 1.5%. So the RSI now is coming down. We're right around 64, so I'm not sure where we're going to head from here. But again, we have been anticipating a pullback. And so looking at the PPI year over year, the forecast for today was 5.4%. Last month, we had a number of 6.5%. Today, we came in at 6%. So yes, it is still down from previous, which is a good sign. And then looking at the month over month data, today's forecast is 0.4%. Last month was negative 0.2%. Today we came in at 0.7% for PPI. And even looking at core month over month, we had a previous month of 0.3%. The forecast was to stay the same at 0.3%. We came in at 0.5%. And so one of the things to pay attention to with PPI is it's usually a leading indicator for CPI. Now, we did just see a higher than expected CPI number, so next month we might see that again. This goes back to what Jerome Powell was talking about when he said we have very persistent inflation right now. Now, last year we saw a lot of revisions that got made. I wonder what would have happened and how the market would have reacted if we had gotten those true numbers at that time. Now we're going to wait and see if the market is going to kind of resettle and kind of refigure out what the last year's numbers were, how this year could potentially play off of those numbers, and then kind of adjust itself. Now, again, this is something that last month we had seen some very strong disinflationary pressures. This gave us a good indication that maybe the Fed was going to pivot sooner than we had expected. Now, looking like inflation is not coming down as quickly as we thought, this might mean that not only will the Fed not pivot sooner than expected, they might actually continue going up on rates higher than we initially expected. Last we knew, the Fed was looking to get the interest rate between 5 and 5.25%. That number might actually go up now that we are seeing these inflation numbers. The Fed most likely wants to get the interest rates on top of inflation to be able to push it down. We're not there yet. Now, if the inflation does not come down faster, this is why I was hoping the CPI was going to be around 5.9%. If that was the case, one or two more rate hikes, maybe 25 to 50 basis points, would have been enough. We would have been above that, and then we could have come down from there. What we're looking at right now, which is now at least a 50 basis point hike in March potentially to go up. They might even go higher, and we might get further rate hikes down the road rather than a pause. This could be that trigger that ends up causing the market to come down further. That might be why we saw a big sell-off at the end of the day today, is the market coming to that realization that the Fed might actually need to go higher on interest rates than we're priced in. And now, one thing we did get today from Tesla is something that we're going to see if we are looking for those forces to bring the stock price down and those shorts coming in strong. Could be these hit pieces that are out here. Like Rob Maurer said, Tesla recalls FSD beta. It's a catchy headline, but here's the fix. Tesla will deploy an over-the-air update in the coming weeks, which will improve how FSD beta negotiates certain driving maneuvers during the conditions described in the recall notice. And now, as Tesla Synopsys pointed out, keep calm, Tesla FSD version 11 will fix your recall problems. And now, of course, Elon has been saying for a while that we are going to be seeing wide release on version 11. That can keeps on getting kicked down the road. We are looking at version 11.3.2. That could be what comes out to be able to fix these recalls. Truly don't know. And again, it's not really a recall, it is an over-the-air update. And with the software over-the-air update, it's not like an actual repair. I have heard stories about you get a notice on your phone saying, hey, we noticed your vehicle had an issue. We've already fixed it. Just wanted to let you know that it was there and it's all taken care of already. That is the kind of stuff you see with Teslas. That is not the kind of stuff you see with an ICE vehicle. With an ICE vehicle, if you have a recall, you need to bring it down to a dealership or to a license place that can resolve this issue for you and get it resolved. That is usually what happens with a true recall. An over the air software update does not require you to do anything. It is fixed with a patch or a software update. That is it. So, again, hopefully, this term will be changed over time because it's not truly a recall because you're not recalling the vehicles back to the dealership. That is what a recall is. That is why they call it a recall because they're recalling that product. That is not what is happening with a software update for these issues. And so we may end up seeing more news like this coming out. Again, Investor Day, I think, is going to be awesome, but the macro environment is still going to be heavy. So, very much like we did all last year, the way I am going to look at it is if we do get that sell off after Investor Day, I'm still going to pay attention to all the information we learned from that day. Because guess what? We are most likely going to be getting a lot of great information about fundamentals and how the company is going to be growing in the future. But in the near term, there may be that uncertainty. That, again, going back to what we saw many times over the last 12 months, is going to be that prime opportunity to buy. When we see awesome news coming for the future of the company, but the stock price is falling because of outside forces, that to me is the great disconnect that is going to give us those great buying opportunities for a massive return on our investment. And so, taking one quick last look at the charts, we are now down 2% after hours, down under 198. So, again, I don't know if this is going to continue, but looking at the levels below us, again, $200 is that strong level that we have been seeing. That was the battleground. That was what we were discussing, that the shorts wanted to keep us under $200 come Friday. Are they going to win? As of right now, it looks like they might. And if they do, below us from here, we've got 191, then 180, and then 167. And of course, all the gaps that we have spoken about previously. I have dropped down my daily additions from $25 to $20. I will be adding more money into cash, anticipating this pullback. So if we do fall down, I will have more cash ready to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, what I will end up doing if we fall under 150, I will go back to $25 a day to be able to add at those levels. And again, we'll be following the charts along the way to see if we are truly on that downtrend and continuing down. Now, what I did do today is I tried something new. I tried a little bit of shorting, but only with the QQQ. That is the NASDAQ. So I went with the SQQQ, which normally is like a short term play, but I'm going to try something about maybe holding it for a little bit longer. I'm just learning. So if you guys have any ideas, please share with us all. And for me, I'm going to ride this on the way down. As we saw the market swing today at the end of the day, I was upside down on my purchase earlier, but then it turned around by the end of the day and I'm now positive. So this is kind of my hedge against Tesla. So while I'm still going to buy Tesla on the way down, I will also have this SQQQ. I only bought 5 shares. It's not a lot. It was 150 bucks. And it's something I'm just kind of doing as a test for myself. But if this is what's going to work during this year where we swing a lot, I don't want to short Tesla. It's not my thing. But if I can short an index like the QQQ and then be able to gain on that as we fall, then when we get closer to what I feel might be a good solid bottom, I can sell out there for some profits and then put that money into Tesla or TSLL, which then can take us back up again on that swing on the way back up. Again, I am just trying things. It's definitely risky, which is why I'm just doing it with a very small portion of my portfolio just as a test. But again, I'm open to any feedback from you guys as other options that I can do. And I don't have enough money yet in my portfolio to actually play options. So this is my way of doing that little bit of hedging. So that's what I did today. Got those 5. I'm going to see how we trade tomorrow. And I'm just going to kind of see how it follows over the next few months. I'm anticipating this downward cycle and we'll see how that swings. So, anyways, you guys can let me know how you feel about the movement in the stock today. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. We will see you in the next one.